While much of the MotoGP paddock remains focused on Yamaha's technical development program, Jack Miller has quietly become one of the biggest talking points at Sachsenring. As attention shifts towards the manufacturer's long-term rider plans and the evolution of the YZR-M1, the Australian has once again demonstrated that on-track performance does not always guarantee job security in MotoGP. Jack Miller emerged as one of the standout performers during practice for the 2026 German Grand Prix, guiding the Prima Pramac Yamaha into the top 5 and securing direct passage to Q2. The result provided another encouraging sign for Yamaha as it continues to narrow the performance gap to its European rivals, while also underlining the YZR-M1's growing competitiveness at one of the calendar's most technically demanding circuits. The performance became even more significant given Yamaha's ongoing aerodynamic evaluation program. Fabio Quartararo spent the session assessing the latest third-generation fairing package, whereas Miller remained with the previous aerodynamic specification, essentially the same front-wing configuration introduced during the 2025 season. The contrasting approaches immediately raised questions over whether Yamaha's latest developments are delivering an immediate performance advantage. From what I observed around the paddock, however, it would be premature to conclude that the older package is superior. The stronger indication is that Yamaha is still defining the optimal direction of its development program. Sachsenring places exceptional emphasis on front-end confidence through corner entry, maintaining balance at the apex, and maximizing traction on corner exit. Under those conditions, a rider who fully understands the behavior of his package can often extract more performance from a familiar configuration than from newly introduced components that still require setup refinement. Prima Pramac Yamaha team director Gino Borsoi openly acknowledged Miller's contribution, describing the Australian's performance as a product of both rider quality and the motorcycle's potential. His comments reinforced the view that Yamaha's result was not solely driven by technical improvements, but equally by Miller's experience and ability to maximize the available package. I see this as another reminder of the value experienced riders continue to bring to factory development projects. Miller's contribution extends well beyond lap times. Inside the garage, his technical feedback carries significant weight because of the experience he has accumulated across several manufacturers throughout his MotoGP career. That broader reference point often becomes an invaluable resource for engineers when evaluating new components and defining future development priorities. Miller's Sachsenring performance also followed one of the busiest periods of his season. Before arriving in Germany, he completed consecutive MotoGP race weekends, while also traveling to Japan to compete in the Suzuka 8 Hours alongside Andrea Locatelli and Katsuyuki Nakasuga for Yamaha factory racing team. The trio finished second after a demanding race held in wet conditions. Looking at that schedule, there was little evidence that the additional workload affected his competitiveness. If anything, the constant race rhythm appeared to benefit him. His ability to manage tire performance, quickly adapt to changing grip conditions, and maintain consistency over long distances translated effectively when returning to the YZR-M1 only a few days later. Those qualities rarely dominate headlines but remain highly valued within technical departments. Despite the encouraging results, Miller's future continues to appear uncertain. Although no official decision has been announced, strong indications suggest Yamaha is preparing a younger rider lineup as part of its long-term strategy, with Izan Guevara widely linked to a future seat at Prima Pramac Yamaha. Within the paddock, the perception is that Yamaha's decision is driven more by strategic planning than by Miller's current level of performance. I interpret the situation as a broader organizational shift rather than a reflection of dissatisfaction with the Australian. In the short term, promoting younger talent supports Yamaha's long-term rebuilding program. Over a longer horizon, however, the manufacturer risks losing one of its most experienced development riders, someone whose technical input has played an important role throughout the YZR-M1 project. There is also a historical pattern worth considering. Yamaha has previously reshaped its rider lineup during major technical transitions, particularly when embarking on significant development cycles. Miller's situation illustrates a familiar MotoGP reality. Valuable technical contribution alone does not always guarantee contract security when manufacturers redefine their long-term objectives.